Hello, seniors. I am Dr. Robert Harrison. If you make just one of these mistakes tonight, your heart may not survive until morning. And most people your age make at least three of them without realizing it. I know that sounds dramatic, but stay with me for a moment because what I'm about to share could genuinely save your life. Tonight, I'm going to show you the silent mistakes that happen while you sleep. The ones that don't cause pain, don't trigger alarms, and don't give second chances. And more importantly, I'll show you how to fix them before your head hits the pillow. Let me start with a story that still weighs on me. A man in his late 60s came into my office for what he thought was a routine visit. He was active, still driving, still working part-time, and he described himself as doing pretty well for his age. His blood pressure was a little high, but nothing alarming. His cholesterol was borderline but manageable. When I asked him how he was sleeping, he shrugged and said, "Not great, but who does at my age?" That sentence right there, that mindset is more dangerous than most people realize. 2 weeks later, his wife found him unresponsive in bed. No warning, no chest pain, no emergency call in the night, just silence. When I spoke with her afterward, she told me something I've heard far too many times. He said he was just tired. We thought it was normal. Here's the truth that rarely gets explained clearly enough. Your heart is not safest when you sleep. In fact, for many people over 55, nighttime is when the heart is under its most dangerous kind of stress. Not the loud, obvious stress you feel during exercise or emotional moments, but the quiet kind, the kind that builds slowly, silently while you're unconscious. Blood pressure shifts, breathing patterns change, oxygen levels dip, and small, seemingly harmless habits can suddenly become life-threatening when combined in the dark. I'm Dr. Robert Harrison, and for decades, I've studied what happens to the heart during sleep. I've reviewed thousands of cases involving nighttime cardiac events, sudden death during sleep, and heart rhythm disturbances that only appear after midnight. And what I can tell you with absolute certainty is this: most of these events are not random. They are the result of preventable mistakes, mistakes people don't even know they're making. The first one is incredibly common, and almost everyone believes they're doing the right thing. The first mistake is going to bed dehydrated. Most people, especially seniors, intentionally stop drinking water in the evening because they don't want to wake up to use the bathroom. That sounds logical. It feels practical. But inside your body, something very different is happening. When you're dehydrated, your blood becomes thicker. That makes it harder for your heart to pump efficiently. Your circulation slows, your blood pressure regulation becomes unstable, and your risk of clot formation increases. During the night, especially between about 2 and 6 in the morning, your heart rate naturally drops and your blood pressure fluctuates. That combination, thicker blood and slower circulation, is exactly when heart attacks and strokes are most likely to occur. I've had patients tell me they avoid water after dinner because they think they're protecting their sleep. What they don't realize is that they may be putting their heart at risk instead. This doesn't mean you should chug water right before bed, but completely avoiding fluids for hours before sleep is a silent danger. A small glass of water, about half a cup 30 to 60 minutes before bed, can make a meaningful difference. It helps keep your blood flowing smoothly during the most vulnerable hours of the night. But here's the important part. Hydration alone is not enough if you're making the second mistake, which has to do with how you sleep. The second mistake is sleeping completely flat on your back when your heart can't handle it. Lying flat feels natural. It feels comfortable. For years, many people have slept that way without thinking twice. But as we age, the heart's ability to handle fluid shifts changes. When you lie flat, fluid redistributes toward your chest. That can increase pressure in your lungs and make it harder for your heart to do its job. For people with high blood pressure, heart failure, or even mild undiagnosed heart weakness, this can be dangerous. Let me ask you something important. Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night feeling short of breath or felt like you needed to sit up to breathe more comfortably? That's not anxiety. That's not just aging. That's your heart struggling under nighttime conditions. I once had a patient who slept with multiple pillows stacked under her head. When I asked her why, she said she didn't really know. It was just the only way she felt comfortable. Her body had figured out something her mind hadn't. Elevating her upper body reduced the strain on her heart. She wasn't being picky, she was compensating for a problem. Slight elevation, just a few inches, can significantly reduce nighttime cardiac stress. You don't need to sleep sitting upright. You don't need expensive equipment. Even a gentle incline can help your heart and lungs work together more efficiently while you sleep. But even posture won't protect you if you're making the third mistake, which is one of the most overlooked and dangerous ones of all. The third mistake is taking the wrong helper before bed. Sleep aids are incredibly common. Over-the-counter products, nighttime pain relievers, melatonin, and prescription sleep medications are often seen as harmless, but many of them can interfere with breathing, lower oxygen levels, or disrupt heart rhythm, especially in older adults. I've reviewed countless cases where someone passed away peacefully in their sleep, and when we looked deeper, we found that a nighttime medication played a role. The most dangerous part is that these medications often don't cause obvious symptoms. You don't feel pain. You don't wake up gasping. Your heart rhythm simply becomes unstable, or your oxygen drops just enough to trigger a fatal event. People often tell me, I only take it when I really need sleep, but sometimes once is enough. This risk is even higher if you snore loudly, stop breathing during sleep, or wake up feeling unrefreshed despite sleeping for hours. This is why it's so important to ask a very specific question when it comes to nighttime medications. Not just is this safe, but is this safe for my heart while I sleep? If the answer isn't clear, that's a red flag. But medication isn't the only thing people overlook at night. The fourth mistake has to do with symptoms people have learned to ignore. The fourth mistake is dismissing nighttime symptoms you've gotten used to. Humans are incredibly adaptable. We normalize discomfort. We tell ourselves that poor sleep, snoring, night sweats, or waking up tired are just part of getting older. But your heart doesn't adapt the way your mindset does. It tolerates stress until it can't anymore. Loud snoring, gasping during sleep, waking up with a racing heart, morning headaches, or extreme fatigue are not just sleep issues. They are signs of nighttime cardiac strain. One of the most common and dangerous conditions related to this is sleep apnea. Sleep apnea causes repeated drops in oxygen during the night, forcing the heart to work harder under low oxygen conditions. Over time, this dramatically increases the risk of heart attack, stroke, and sudden death during sleep. What makes it so dangerous is that many people don't know they have it. Their partner notices the snoring or breathing pauses, but the person sleeping has no memory of it. I once asked a patient why he never mentioned his snoring. He laughed and said his wife complained about it all the time, but he thought it was harmless. It wasn't. Once he was diagnosed and treated, his heart rhythm stabilized and his energy returned. Ignoring nighttime symptoms doesn't make you tough. It makes you vulnerable. And all of this leads us toward the final mistake, the one that ties everything together and often determines whether the heart truly gets rest at night. But before we get there, let me say this clearly. None of these mistakes feel dangerous in the moment. That's why they're so deadly. They don't hurt, they don't scare you, they simply set the stage. And what happens next? The final mistake is something almost everyone underestimates, especially in the quiet moments before sleep. Now we come to the final mistake. And in many ways, this is the one that decides whether all the others become dangerous or not. Because even if you hydrate properly, sleep at the right angle, avoid risky medications, and recognize warning signs, there's still one thing that can quietly undo all of that. And it's something most people believe is normal or unavoidable. The fifth mistake is going to sleep with a stressed heart. Most people think of stress as a daytime problem. Deadlines, bills, family issues, bad news, arguments. But what very few people understand is that the way you enter sleep determines how your heart behaves for the next 6 to 8 hours. If you go to bed tense, anxious, angry, or mentally overstimulated, your nervous system doesn't just switch off when you close your eyes. Stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline remain elevated. Your heart rate stays higher than it should. Your blood pressure doesn't dip the way it's supposed to at night, and your heart never truly gets the rest it needs. I've seen this pattern again and again. Patients with acceptable test results during the day, but dangerous heart rhythm disturbances that only appear at night. When we look closer, the common thread isn't always diet or exercise. It's unresolved stress carried into sleep. One patient told me, "Nighttime is when my thoughts get loud." That's exactly when her heart was under the most strain. Your heart is designed to slow down at night. That's when repair happens. That's when the nervous system shifts into recovery mode, but it can't do that if your mind is replaying worries, scrolling through alarming news, or lying in bed tense and alert. From the heart's perspective, stress doesn't care whether it comes from a physical threat or a mental one. The body reacts the same way. This is why heart attacks, strokes, and fatal arrhythmias are so common in the early morning hours. The heart has been working all night without real rest. Eventually, something gives. And the tragedy is that most people never realize the connection between what they were feeling before bed and what happened while they slept. Now, here's the good news, and this is important. This mistake is one of the easiest to fix, and it doesn't require medication, equipment, or major lifestyle changes. It requires a decision to create a buffer between your day and your sleep. Think of it as giving your heart permission to stand down. A simple wind-down routine, even 20 minutes, can dramatically change how your heart behaves overnight. No arguments, no heavy conversations, no doom scrolling, no television that keeps your mind alert. Dim the lights, slow your breathing, sit quietly, stretch gently, pray, meditate, or simply breathe slowly and deeply. When your breathing slows, your heart follows. That's not philosophy. That's physiology. I often tell patients to imagine they're speaking directly to their heart before sleep, saying, "You're safe now, you can rest." It sounds simple, almost silly, but the nervous system responds to signals, not logic. Calm signals produce calm responses. Now let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture, because this is where everything comes together. None of the 5 mistakes we've talked about are dramatic on their own. That's what makes them dangerous. They don't feel like emergencies. They feel like habits. Skipping water, sleeping flat, taking a pill to rest, ignoring snoring, carrying stress to bed. Each one quietly increases nighttime cardiac strain, and when several of them happen together night after night, year after year, the heart eventually reaches a breaking point. The people who suffer sudden events in their sleep are rarely reckless. They're not ignoring obvious danger signs. They're doing what they've always done. And that's why awareness matters so much, because once you know what puts your heart at risk during sleep, you can make small changes that have outsized effects. So let's make this practical tonight. Before you go to bed, do 5 simple things. Drink a small glass of water earlier in the evening, not enough to disrupt your sleep, just enough to protect your circulation. Adjust your sleeping position so your upper body is slightly elevated, especially if you've ever felt short of breath at night. Take a moment to question any medication or supplement you use to help you sleep and ask whether it's truly heart-safe. Pay attention to nighttime symptoms you've been brushing off as normal and take them seriously. And finally, give your heart a calm, quiet transition into sleep. These are not extreme measures. They are gentle corrections, and they matter because sleep is not just rest. Sleep is a test. Every night your heart is tested under low oxygen, slow circulation, and shifting pressures. The goal is not to make that test harder than it needs to be. I want to share one final thought with you, and it's something I wish more people understood earlier. When something goes wrong during sleep, there is no warning bell. There is no chance to push through. That's why prevention matters so much more than reaction. The heart doesn't announce when it's had enough. It simply stops. But the opposite is also true. When you support your heart properly at night, it becomes more resilient during the day. Better sleep improves blood pressure, stabilizes heart rhythm, reduces inflammation, and improves energy and mental clarity. Nighttime care isn't separate from heart health. It's the foundation of it. So, here's my question for you, and this is important. Which one of these mistakes do you think you've been making without realizing it? Not which one scares you the most, but which one sounds uncomfortably familiar. Take a moment and be honest with yourself. If this video made you think differently about how you sleep tonight, I want you to do one more thing. Share it with someone you care about, a spouse, a sibling, a friend. Because the most dangerous heart mistakes don't happen in public. They happen quietly in the dark while we sleep. And sometimes awareness is enough to save a life.